Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm a certified Galactic Astrology Soul Reader and Reiki Master Teacher. Thank you so much for being here. In today's video, we will be exploring and diving into the depths and the wisdom that is emerging and upwelling with the Scorpio new moon on November 12th here in Hawaii, and for most of us, 13th of 2023. The main overall umbrella theme I'm really sensing and feeling into is death and rebirth into the new consciousness. Before we dive into the astrology, I would like to invite you to the upcoming Scorpio new moon distant Reiki share. I host a new moon distant Reiki share every single month, every single new moon. And you are more than welcome to attend. It's not necessary for you to have any kind of Reiki experience or training. Everybody who wants to be there is more than welcome, and it's free. So you're welcome to RSVP for free on my website, taylornorrisreiki.com. It's a beautiful, growing gathering of human and galactic soul family where we come together and really invite in and receive the healing and the empowerment of the new moon, plant our seeds of intention for the new moon cycle ahead, and receive Reiki energy to support the sprouting and the blooming and the flourishing of those seeds of an intention that we set together. So I would love to see you there. Okay, this is the astrological chart of the Scorpio new moon, and you could see that there are lots of colorful lines, there are lots of aspects, there's a really strong, potent energy this new moon. It is a time always with the new moon of new beginnings. It's a time when you can see in the lower part of the chart, the sun and moon are together at that same degree point. And this is a very powerful time to plant a seed of intention. And in Scorpio energy is all about life, death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, transmutation. It is a fixed water sign. So Scorpio runs incredibly deep. It is not afraid to dive deep, go within the depths of the soul, explore the depths of the shadow realms, explore the mysteries of life and death, explore the mystery schools, the occult, the esoteric, the magic, the arts of healing, of transmutation and transformation. So we have a wonderful opportunity at this new moon also to reflect upon everything that's come to pass in this eclipse portal, because we had the Libra solar eclipse followed by the Taurus lunar eclipse. And on either side of those, we had eclipse season opening, really, as I perceive it, with the Aries full moon at the end of September. And now with this new moon in Scorpio in the middle of November, November 12th, 13th, we're seeing a bit of the culmination finally of this eclipse cauldron, this eclipse portal that then carries us on this current of energies for the next 6 months until our next set of eclipses. So this new moon has a chance to kind of bring some things to resolution, and also by exploring the aspects, definitely we see with this new moon in Scorpio opposite Uranus in Taurus that there's a chance of breaking through. So whatever was happening in the eclipse portal, there is a chance now with this new moon to make a very significant breakthrough. This could be new beginnings in terms of your community, new actions you're inspired to take, new patterns of thinking, because we see the new moon is also conjunct Mars. It's also conjunct Mercury. This is a whole little cluster here. Now, Mercury's in Sagittarius, so it's not a conjunction by sign, but all of these energies are together. I'm feeling them as together. So with this Uranus opposition, like I said, we're having a chance to integrate and plant new seeds based on the mental changes and upgrades and insights and breakthroughs that we've experienced over the eclipse portal, whether those were very triggering and traumatic or whether those were quite lovely and graceful and soft and easeful. And also the changes to our body, our egos, our personal energy, how we carry ourselves, how we walk through the earth, how we direct our will in an intentional and conscious way. I'm really seeing this Mars here with the new moon as carrying out this seed of intention and having this more ego or personal will in alignment with the divine. Mars has already had its wake-up call, because prior to this new moon, Mars will have made that exact opposition to Uranus. Mercury will have already made it too. So it's like our mind and our bodies already had a preview of this Uranian energy that in the moment of the new moon portal, so to speak, around the 24 hours, the 24-hour window surrounding the new moon, these insights can really drop in. We can be very conscious of them and understand more clearly how we want to work with them and embody them moving forward. So I'm seeing this as big changes in our belief systems, big changes in how we navigate and use our personal energy and our motivation. What motivates us has changed. If we were not feeling so motivated, I think with this Uranus opposition to the new moon and to Mars, we will be feeling a greater sense of motivation, whether that's from events that seem to be happening outside of ourselves, or whether this Uranian energy is upwelling from the core of our being, from what our soul is communicating to us and through us. That spiritualization energy I was talking about in terms of our personal will, in terms of our Mars, is coming through this beautiful aspect of Mars building its trine to Neptune, the signifier of divine love and spiritual love, and really having our ego will unified with the will of our soul, the will of our spirit, the will of the divine, by however we perceive the divine. It also has to do with Mars building its sextile to Pluto and Capricorn. This is deep. This is soul. Pluto and Mars are the two rulers of Scorpio of this new moon. Mars is the ancient ruler before the stargazers were aware consciously, visually, of the presence of planet Pluto and other bodies in the further reaches of the solar system. Mars ruled Scorpio. And then when we were able with our telescopes to see planets beyond Saturn, Pluto eventually became the ruler of Scorpio. So to have Mars, the ancient ruler of this Scorpio new moon, conjunct the new moon, very, very strong scorpionic energy. And it's very unifying energy in a way, which is nice. It'll be internalized, it'll be embodied versus something maybe coming from outside of ourselves, where an opposition is typically bringing in that energy, like this Uranus, right? Uranus could be external events, it could be world events, it could be community type events that are really gaining our attention and our focus. But the invitation again is to go inward, to go and listen to that Mercury, that freshened Mercury that's in conversation with Saturn, by the way, in terms of our inner authority. Well, what do I do about this practically? What can I do? How can I take charge? How can I take ownership? How can I take responsibility for my part and not just be distracted by and directed by outside authorities and distracted by external events? What is my internal process? How am I going to navigate this? And Mars in conversation in the sextile to Pluto, it will be coming from our soul. So having Pluto, the modern ruler of Scorpio, in sextile to the ancient ruler, incredibly, deeply supportive at this time. And Mercury will have just eased off its sextile with Pluto. So our minds will be more in tune with our soul consciousness for those of us who are doing the work. And chances are very high, if you're watching this video, that you are doing the inner work, that you are listening to yourself, that you are interested in exploring the whispers and the wisdom and the intelligence and the consciousness of your soul. So, what have you learned? How can you communicate that and be a light worker and be a part of the solution? You're going to want to be a part of the solution, maybe in a bigger way, maybe in a more authoritative way, not authoritarian, but your own inner authority compelling you and guiding you into a greater sense of leadership, whether that's in how you show up just as yourself, as an individual, in your family, in your circle of friends, in your community, in your career, online, globally, however that looks for you, galactically, in your spiritual life. These are all possible areas in your relationships as well, all manner of your relationships. So it's a very powerful energy. It's also highlighted by this Venus in semi-square to the new moon into Mars. So this is a check-in. How have my values changed after these two Venusian ruled eclipses? What have I learned about myself? Am I acting in alignment with my values? Where can I refine and recalibrate my mind, my thoughts, my emotional bodies, my actions, my behaviors, my day-to-day grind? How can I align them more so with my values? Because there's going to be a tension compelling integrity, essentially. Where am I out of integrity, and how can I come back into integrity? With the semi-square aspect, it's uncomfortable. It's like a square, but it's even more motivated than the square aspect. Venus is also sesqui square Uranus. Venus will again be checking in with, how are my values standing these days? Are they in alignment with the new consciousness? What kind of refinements do I need to make? How am I going to bring these new values into my relationships, into my larger community? And how do my values impact the collective? How do my values impact my relationships? Am I just taking on everybody else's values? What's my sense of ownership in my relationship to my value system? There will be an exploration of this and making sure that it is aligned and it is conscious, and that you're really walking your walk, not just talking your talk. There is a T-square here as well that I'd like to mention. Mercury is at the apex, so Mercury in Sagittarius will have just been already prior to the new moon exactly square Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces now direct as of November 4th, so prior to this new moon. Saturn will have already stationed direct. However, Saturn will be barely moving all month. There's still a bit of this feeling of not all the outer planets yet moving direct, but they're starting to. So they're starting to shift from this internalization energy into a more externalized focus. And Mercury has just received downloads about what that's about, and maybe what are some of the next actions that I'm going to need to take moving forward. Saturn, again, in one of my eclipse updates, I remember we had this same opposition here with Black Moon. I think Lilith was at a different degree point, but she's still in this opposition with Saturn. So really, we're either having problems with authority if our inner authority is not yet internalized and activated and revealed. And by the way, if you're like, I don't know how to do that, well, it is possible with all kinds of different spiritual practices. My personal path of evolution with this has been with Holy Fire Reiki, which is specifically designed. It's a system of Reiki energy that's specifically one of its core effects is the revealing of this inner authority. And this is a big shift we're all making from external authority, you tell me what to do and I'm going to do it, to internal authority based on one's own inner truth as the driver of the mental functioning, the emotional functioning, the behavioral functioning, the relational functioning as well. So if this is not integrated, once again, there can be problems with authority, and the invitation is to go within and empower that dark feminine part of yourself. Let her have space, let her be angry, let her speak her truth, and give her so much healing and love and compassion and space and nurturance within yourself, so that it's not Lilith can just kind of express and kind of like vomit over everybody else. And really, it's a chance to hold those parts of ourselves, hold those shadow aspects, and bring the light of awareness in there. And if you need help doing this, I mean, this can be hard work. Get help. Reach out to a healer, a light worker, a guide. There's so many amazing guides that can help you do this healing work if you do need some support. Ultimately, I see this as achievable for everybody. And we're all going to achieve it because, again, it's the lesson of the age. And in this new moon, we're getting a blast of the lesson of the age in our Mercury, in our mind, in our communications, in our day-to-day life. And really, with regard to, since Mercury's in Sagittarius, our belief systems as well. What belief systems still have you trapped in this loop of looking outside you for answers, looking for external authority to tell you who to be, how to be, who you are, what to do, what to think, what to believe, how to communicate, and so on. It is time for you to do you and be you. That's what we need. That's all what we need. So what's interesting too with this T-square is that Mercury is leading the pack. Mars will also enter this square with Saturn in the days following the new moon. And then the sun will also be in this position, and we will have Sun square Saturn. So the Saturnian energy will be there as Mars and the sun eventually make their way into Sagittarius after the new moon in Scorpio. Mercury is in sextile to Venus. So once again, those values realignments that we have been working with since the eclipse portal will likely be more conscious and will be creating shifts in our thinking process, in our communication process, as well as our belief systems with our own true values, impacting and creating the foundation for our belief systems. And hopefully as well, we won't here with Mercury and Sagittarius need everybody else to think how we think or talk how we talk, speak how we speak, believe how we believe. There will be a greater sense of tolerance and peace and harmony here with it's okay for you to have your own values, your own belief systems, your own ways. I don't need you to do what I do or be the same as me. And I can be in my sovereignty and my power, and you can be in your sovereignty and your power and your truth. And that's okay. We don't have to fight about it. We don't have to argue about it. We can coexist here. The South Node is in a quincunx with Neptune, and this is an interesting energy as well. So the South Node and the Moon are past. What we are working with this archetypal energy that we are evolving on a soul level, at a collective level as well. We're all going through this Libra refreshing and rehashing process, which at times can be profoundly uncomfortable in our relationships, and the ways we've been navigating our relationships is definitely up for review and an upgrade. And with this quincunx to Neptune, I'm seeing this as possible further relational dissolutions, any kind of relationships that are not in alignment with our spiritual growth and our spiritual path will be dissolving, will be shifting, will be morphing. There's a real fluidity here as well. And I believe Neptune can really help us do our relational alchemical transmutation process. So what is Neptune suggesting to us? Well, to go within, to be okay being in that void space, to being in the emptiness, to feeling okay and comfortable in the void, in the emptiness, in the not knowing, and to have faith that any new space or older space that is created or has been left by different relationships kind of flowing out of our lives, that this is okay. If there's a grief process that needs to happen, to let that happen, to let that flow, and to not think that that is a sign of weakness or that you're backsliding or something like that. That can be a very healthy part of allowing the emotions to flow so that that space is fully cleansed and we'll be prepared to receive those new higher vibrational relationships to fill in that space. And in the meantime, and in the all the time now moment, Neptune, your spiritual connection, can fill that space, can fill that void for you, rather than it needing to be from a codependent relationship or from lower expression Neptune substances that get you high or drunk, or other forms of addiction, eating too much, exercising too much screen time, and on, gaming too much. I don't know what people do, but there are lots of ways we can be addicted in this modern age, for sure. And it's still so simple to connect and go within and access our spiritual connection. We just gotta stop, drop, breathe, close our eyes, and turn our awareness inward, and it's like it's right there for us all the time. Jupiter is also semi-square Neptune. So once again, Neptune is gonna be where it's at. I'm feeling like you want to feel expanded, you want to feel abundant, you want to feel grateful. Neptune, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, go within, and all of those vibrations are right there inside of you and can radiate out and ripple out and help you in your day-to-day life and help empower those positive vibrations in the collective as well. I also notice in this chart, y'all can see it too, lots of yellow lines here, lots of biquintiles and quintiles. So without going into each one of those, but I will say Chiron is involved in several of them. Venus and Saturn are involved here. Pluto and Lilith are involved here. So there's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of magical healing energy as well of those wounds that we can't seem to heal from deep inside ourselves and our soul histories. I see this as an opportunity to invite in the magic of our soul and spirit and our spiritual support teams and receive that profound healing at this time. We can really be supported here in the process of letting die those parts of ourselves that need to die. I mean, it's Scorpio, it's Pluto. There are some things to be let go of. What else needs to be let go of? What parts do need to die? And Chiron can help us. All of these quintiles help us access that magic vibration where it's like, wow, there's help and support here. There's help and support there. There's help and support in here. And there's a lot of healing that maybe has not yet been possible and is now possible. And wow, what a gift, what a blessing. Have so much gratitude for that. There is a lot of water energy here. So at the time of the new moon, it would be very beneficial to connect with the water element in whatever way you feel guided to do so. Let those emotions flow. Watch the water. I love to just watch the waves, to watch the ocean. Take a bath, take a cleansing shower. Again, drink some water, put your prayers in the water, thank the water in all of its forms. Thank you, water. I love you, water. I love putting Reiki in my water and drinking it. I also intend that Reiki be in all my water that I drink, even that which I forget to attune and connect with, because I'm in a hurry or something. So connect with water however you feel guided to do so, and know that you are made mostly of water as well. So you can connect with water in your body as well. And this can be deeply, deeply healing and restoring. So I'd like to share here the Sabian symbol for the degree point of the new moon. The new moon is at 20 degrees and I forget how many minutes of Scorpio. And with the Sabian symbols, we round up to the next whole number degree. So we round up to Scorpio 21. Obeying his conscience, a soldier resists orders. A readiness to face the results of a refusal to follow the authoritarian patterns of an aggressive society. You can already hear that Mars-Pluto energy, that Mercury square Saturn, Saturn opposite Lilith, T-square. Okay, there it is. As a person finds himself involved in activities which are traditional in his particular culture, and in many instances in all societies at this stage of human evolution, he often faces a conflict between his own individual sense of value, his conscience, his Venus, his Mercury, and the demands of society. The conflict may be most typical in terms of the armed services, thus this symbol. In it, we find the individual asserting his own values, Venus, sesqui square, Uranus, though he cannot escape the consequences of his decision. In such a case, he has to be quietly ready to face these consequences, whatever the cost. This is the first stage in the 47th fivefold sequence of phases in the great cyclic ritual of activity. The issue it presents is clear. Society in this situation seems to be all-powerful, yet the individual need not be spiritually bound, even if in prison. He can still display inner freedom and prove himself an individual. Again, this new moon opposite Uranus. I am seeing this peaceful non-compliance. empowering world peace, empowering inner peace. I feel so strongly the more we can access inner peace frequency from within ourselves, and if we can also come together in groups like the New Moon Reiki Share, other groups, and empower world peace, that this has such a great impact on the collective and world events, and of course our own individual sense of activism, because this activism, the social reform, social justice, is definitely a part of the energies of this particular new moon. So the more we can be grounded in our values, grounded in our truth, grounded in our sense of inner authority, inner freedom, and our peacefulness, I think this will really contribute positively. Whenever you're watching this, even if it's not yet the new moon, like start now, start empowering this now. We can actually kind of like smooth out anything that might be coming by accessing this peaceful vibration as soon as possible. So right now, I invite you to just take some breaths, place your hands on your heart, and really invite peace into your heart, into your being. This matters so much. It really does. This particular interpretation of the Sabian symbol is from mindfire.ca, so you can look up the Sabian symbol for any degree of the zodiac and receive this kind of interpretation as well as the symbol. Many different astrologers have interpreted the symbols, and they're all very beautiful. I tend to like Dane Rogers' interpretations. So tuning into more the cosmic and galactic energies, as well as the in the sky astrology, where the new moon is actually occurring in the sky is in the stars of Libra, amongst the stars of Libra. So you see the sun, the moon, and the Mars all here in Libra constellation. It's actually interacting with a pair of stars here. You can see in this star map, you see the beautiful photograph here, the pair of stars. And you see here, this is a photograph from Bernadette Brady's wonderful book of fixed stars. So Zubin Eshamali and Zubin El Janubi. Not sure if I'm saying those right, but what cool names. It's a pair of stars, and you see again the pair of stars here in the scales of Libra. And in terms of the degree points, they are closer here to Zubin Eshamali. So originally, the claws of the scorpion, the scales of Libra, were so named by the Greek and Roman empires. The Assyrians believed them to be the father god of fire, or the great light. And this part of the sky was also linked to the lamp held by the scorpion and the yin-yang symbol. From at least 2000 BC, there were 12 signs, including the scorpion and the claws of the scorpion. It was not until the Roman Empire that they saw the claws of the scorpion as Libra, which for them was linked to justice ruled by their goddess Astraea. In terms of the meaning of the stars, Zubin El Janubi and Zubin Eshamali, they really have to do with polarity. We see this in the two scales. They are also linked to psychic preferment. This is an advancement, a promotion of our psychic abilities, an upgrade, if you will. And as they are a pair of stars in this dualistic sign of Libra, or dualistic constellation of Libra, there was an energy of light linked with Zubin Eshamali, and this energy of shadow linked with Zubin el Janubi. And they don't hard and fast polarize like that. According to Bernadette Brady, what I'm seeing these as for us, it's an opportunity to reconcile these aspects of light and shadow within ourselves. These stars are very prominent in terms of social reform. And it's really important with these themes of social reform and social justice that there is not action or leadership or stepping into that light of authority with this temptation for personal gain, for personal power to, be corrupt in the ways we wield our power. That it's really important that the social reform, the social justice that occurs is actually coming from a place of our light, our power of love, rather than love of power. These stars are also linked to the importance of the group. So your soul family, your soul tribe. This even makes me think of like the age of Aquarius, power to the people and people coming together in their like-minded and like-hearted groups and community, their families of frequency, as Pam Gregory says. And I love this. And you can have different families of frequency in different areas of your life, families of frequency online, families of frequency in your community. So there can be multiple families of frequency here. Since Mercury and Mars will have passed through these stars just prior to the new moon, our mind, our bodies, our ego will have contacted these energies already. And in the new moon, we will have a chance to consciously set an intention of a new beginning we are making based on these insights, as well as the learnings of the eclipse portal that this new moon is wrapping up. So see what your mind, your mental body, your physical body, your personal energy, and your ego are bringing up for you in the days prior to the new moon. And that can really inform your new moon intention and how you carry yourself through the moon cycle ahead. Here is the galactic chart of this new moon. And you can create a galactic chart like this. There are several different chart types that are really, really cool, really comprehensive. And you can make a chart like this for free, thanks to Julia Balaz and Hector, the genius behind the Galactic astrochart.com and calculator. So you can create one of these for your own birthday or your child's birthday or whatever birthday you want to use. And you can also receive galactic readings from certified practitioners such as myself and many others who are very talented in making sense of these energies. These are all of the galactic energies that are present for us at the time of this new moon, either by opposition, a 180-degree aspect, or conjunction, a 0-degree aspect. And these are some of the most strong, obvious, in your face, okay, here they are, kinds of alignments that I like to look at. We see that all of these star families and star beings are accessible to us. Spica star in Virgo constellation, Arcturus star in Boots constellation, helping us with our evolutionary growth at this time, our soul evolution as individuals, as a collective as well. We have so much support here coming from the star family. We see Mercury is opposite Hyadium 1 in Hyades. So this could be grief feelings coming up. I mean, also with Mercury square Saturn and the Neptune aspects I was talking about earlier, there may be some grief here, some grief processing, some feelings of loss that need to come up and out and be released. And if that is the case for you, know that you're supported. The Hyadians, which are very connected to The Pleiadians are here to support us. And also, this is an opportunity for galactic contact. The Pleiadians are famous for all their different kinds of contact programs, and the Hyadians and the Pleiadians are very much connected in terms of their consciousness and some of their intentions. So this might be a greater sense of opening within yourself to your own galactic insights and downloads and messages and parts of yourself that may have a future life frequency or manifestation that's wanting to come in and be seen and integrated by you. Venus in alignment with the supergalactic center. Venus is continuing this work of ancestral healing, trauma healing, letting go of the light warrior and the fight and the battle kind of frequency, and embracing more of the peace and the harmony and the light bringer and the light bearer types of frequencies, and engaging in with this level of ancestral healing that not only benefits your own bloodline, your own lineage, but benefits you in terms of your galactic ancestry, your galactic lineage, and coming into greater contact with more of your multidimensional self, connecting to that source consciousness, being able to let those energies and those frequencies flow in your day-to-day life and in your relationships, reflected through your values and your creativity and your Venusian delights. This can be a very delightful process. This can be a process that's supported by feminine energies, the divine feminine as a frequency, as a way of being to tap into, as well as your relationships with women and feminine beings, connecting in with your own inner feminine energies as well. I've really been working with this a lot lately. The divine feminine, receiving. What does this mean? I think this new moon is once again giving us an opportunity to really step into those energies and frequencies and receive. Mars is conjunct Beta Centauri, Hadar. So we have an opportunity here to engage in ritual, to receive heaven on earth frequencies, and to really undergo healing. Centaurus is often a constellation that's linked to Chiron, this being that is going to the altar to make a sacrifice. So any kind of ritual you are guided to partake in, and particularly a ritual involving water, could be really, really beneficial in a way to work with these energies. Jupiter is interacting with Shadir star and Cassiopeia constellation, Titouan star and Andromeda constellation. This is a double feminine energy. Andromeda is a woman in the sky. Cassiopeia is her mother in the sky. Andromeda is the princess. Cassiopeia is the queen. So embracing this inner sense of, again, the divine feminine energies, embracing a sense of receiving what is the divine feminine. I know personally I'm a lot more comfortable in my masculine energy, and I'm learning more and more about this divine feminine, more and more about this receiving, and really listening to the messages about this. This can be a chance to heal the very harsh divide between patriarchal, matriarchal ways of being, from even thinking about Atlantean times, patriarchal, Lemurian times, more matriarchal, integrating them. There may be quite a lot of downloads coming in and expansive energies around Lemurian energies. I know I've been getting this Lemuria energy coming up again and again and again. And I just keep in my meditations, okay, I'm open to receive, I'm open to learn. And this is one way I'm being trained and coached by the heavens, by spirit, by my spiritual support team, to understand and embody and work with the divine feminine. Saturn is opposite Royal Star, Regulus, and Leo constellation. Once again, if you're being tempted to revenge in any way, shape, form, or area of life, do not go there. Release, forgive, let go. forgive again, have compassion, forgive again, have more compassion, forgive again, get help if you need help to do this. But this can also be a very magical energy to tune into. Think fairies and unicorns and wonderful astral experiences in realms much like Avatar. Lovely energies. Neptune is conjunct Merkab star and Pegasus constellation. Again, we have a divine feminine goddess frequency. Merkab being part of the Pegasus constellation, the winged horse, and the horse being a symbol very much associated with the goddess and Celtic cultures. This can be galactic unicorns, multidimensional unicorn soul family, helping with the healing, helping with the transformation and transmutation and any kind of letting go process that needs to happen. And also understanding the spiritual unification and alignment with our mental body, our practicality, having our stable seat, our anchored seat, our anchor within ourselves of our own consciousness as our way to navigate these shifting and fluid realities. I'm also hearing my Reiki teacher, my Reiki teacher's voice, stay stable, be kind. Colleen Benelli, love you, Robin Benelli. This is very much that energy as well. Stay stable, be kind, no matter what. This is Neptune conjunct Markov star and Pegasus. Love that. Pluto's been interacting with Procyon star and Canis Minor for quite some time. And again, you might receive a download about something that's important for you, an important message, important final steps to complete. Pluto, now direct, will be entering Aquarius in the end of January. So what kind of Capricornian, like more material, dense, earthly matters do you need to attend to before the energies really pick up the pace with all the outer planets turning direct as of early January and Pluto also moving into Aquarius? We have a lot of quicker energies happening next year. And this particular aspect can help you kind of put the pieces in place so that when things pick up, it's go time and you're there and you're ready. Lilith is interacting with Royal Star Fomalhaut and Piscis Astrinus constellation and Cygnus constellation Deneb Adige. These are two of my favorite stars. And I love how they come together like this. It's just, this is so beautiful, y'all. Every time this pops up on a chart, I'm hearing angelic tones right now. They're like in my ear. So Christ consciousness, Archangel Gabriel, all the archangels, the shamanic star. This is also, I was learning this from Lisa Royal Holt, that Cygnus constellation, many of the ancient star family moved there to create a utopian heaven on earth society in Cygnus constellation. They did not want to do the whole polarity ball game. Now, it did not go so great there on Cygnus. There were some issues because the whole intention of the Milky Way galaxy was to experience a separation and individuation process. However, there can be important downloads and learnings about how do we embody and co-create heaven on earth, a new earth here and now, and not fall into those same traps. We don't do a spiritual bypass. We do it for real. And we do it in a way where we just keep spiraling higher and going deeper and into greater sense of integration and cohesion and unification in a way that is really, truly authentic. Chiron conjunct Alpharat star in Andromeda. This is like healing downloads, healing our mental bodies, healing our noggins, like where we've been hard-headed, where we've been conditioned, where we've been really programmed here. Andromedas, again, can help us connect with this divine feminine consciousness. And that's such a beautiful combination because Chiron is transiting Aries, very masculine sign. And with its connection to Andromeda constellation, we get that feminine balance frequency there and present to assist us. I pulled a card, a galactic heritage card for this new moon, and you can see it here on the right. This is the one that came out, number 54, New Consciousness, Earth, Present Time. These are Lisa Royal Holt's beautiful galactic heritage cards, and this is it. This is the message of everything I've been saying. This is the message our galactic star family is talking about. This card speaks to the process of death and rebirth, to enter this state of the new consciousness, this realm of the new consciousness. A lot of things have to go. A lot of things within ourselves, old structures and institutions, things we thought would be there and be reliable and we could count on them for a long time. A lot of this has to fall away. A lot of the parts of our identities and belief systems, our values, our relationships, our ways of being, and so on. So much is falling away, but it's necessary in order to create the space, to create the orientation, to create the complete alignment with the new consciousness, this rebirth, this rejuvenation, this beautiful receiving of the light of the sun, being the flower opening into the light of the sun, receiving the source, being a channel of the source, coming together in unity and harmony and peace and love, and creating from a space and frequency of unity and harmony and peace and love. What a wonderful world it can be. So once again, I would just love to see you at the Scorpio New Moon Distant Reiki Share. If that aligns for you, you're so very welcome. And to connect with me more deeply, please visit my website, taylornorrisreiki.com. I offer Galactic Astrology Soul Readings, one-on-one Reiki sessions, Reiki classes online, as well as every month those new moon distant Reiki shares for free. It is my pleasure, my privilege, my honor, my greatest gift and blessing to be here, guiding you home to heaven on earth within yourself through Reiki and astrology. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo, blessed Scorpio new moon to you. Love you, soul family.